There's a skill that you need to learn, and your ability to learn this skill is going to change everything for you. Your ability to learn this skill is going to improve your finances, is going to improve your business, and is going to improve your life generally. This skill is not sales, it is not marketing, it is not coding, it's not AI, it's not any of the tech skills that are in vogue out there. You see, the world is changing rapidly, and your ability to change along with the world is very crucial. It's important for you to have this skill because it is a game changer. You need it in any industry that you operate in. You need it in your life in general. You have more opportunities, and you can basically tackle any obstacles that come in your way. A lot of people cannot teach this skill because this is a skill that is difficult to teach. It's not difficult to learn. You can actually learn and imbibe this skill, which is going to be even easier than somebody teaching you, because it's a skill that you need to do by yourself. You actually have to put that work by yourself to learn this skill. It's also not easy to measure it, so it's not measurable. But as you implement this skill, you're actually going to see the impact in your life. It is not a flashy skill, but it's a skill that is really attractive, because when you have this skill, you begin to change things around in your life and in your business. So it makes it overall attractive. The skill that I'm talking about today is adaptability, the ability to pivot when needed. You see, you must be willing to change direction or change course when the need arises, or when what you're already doing isn't working so well. That is why adaptability is a key skill if you want to make millions. New opportunities are going to arise every day, but if you lack the skill of adaptability, the opportunities are going to come and they are going to pass by because you're struggling with adaptability. Think back a few years ago during COVID. When COVID-19 hit, a lot of things were shut down. One-on-one interaction was limited. The world basically changed. Businesses basically changed. Everybody had to adapt or die. You had to pivot and follow the new times, or you basically be crushed by other businesses. So you see that a lot of businesses had to go online because one-on-one interaction was no longer possible at that time. Churches, industries, friendships, meetings, everything had to go online. So what happened then was that if you were able to quickly adapt to the changing times, then you would survive. If you see the churches that are currently thriving as at the time I'm making this video, which is 2024, the churches that are currently thriving are churches that quickly pivoted during COVID-19. They quickly took their messages, their meetings online, Zoom meetings, YouTube live streams, WhatsApp calls, WhatsApp meetings. Everybody who is currently thriving in 2024 had to pivot in 2020. They had to quickly adapt during COVID-19. Businesses could no longer interact face to face. So if you were running a business before 2020 that had a one-on-one interaction rate, then you would have needed to adapt one way or the other, either switching business to a new business that would be able to thrive online, or finding new ways to tweak your business to make it work. A lot of businesses had to start doing home delivery and doorstep delivery to people. They had to quickly adapt. You couldn't sit back in your shop and expect that people are going to come out to you anymore, or if you're running your business from your home, to now expect that people are going to come to you, because interactions were limited. So what did people do? Because it was a few key people who were able to move around during COVID-19, businesses quickly took their businesses online, took their sales online if they weren't already, put their businesses online for people to be able to make purchases, websites, Instagram, Facebook, and the likes. They would take orders, process the orders, and deliver. So what happened then was that a lot of businesses had to work with key staff that were essential. Like in my own kind of business, the production business, it was only a key of the staff strength that would come to process orders and send them out for delivery. If they were not able to adapt at that time, they had to unfortunately go under. So those who were able to pivot won and are still winning. Those who were able to adapt immediately won and they are still winning. So you have to be able to learn quickly and in turn turn your failures into learning curves and be able to create opportunities from those learnings, from those things you have learned, be able to create opportunities for yourself and for your life. I'll just share one example of how I had to pivot in my business. So in my business, Ivan's Peanut Butter, we've created a lot of SKUs and we've created a lot of variants of our products. But then, as we ran the business, I found out that some SKUs would sell faster than the other SKUs. Some of these variants sold better than other variants. Some product ranges sold better. Now, if you're not able to adapt quickly and pivot with times and needs of your customers, you're still going to be stuck with those SKUs and products, and you would feel that this is what I want to do, I'm going to keep pushing this. But we had to quickly take out some SKUs that we found out that were not selling quickly, and we focus our resources on the SKUs that sell the most. This has recently been referred to as adaptability quotient. You know how we have the IQ and the EQ, emotional quotient. This has now been identified as adaptability quotient. What are the practical ways that you can build your adaptability quotient? The first is for you to implement and experiment day. And what does this mean? This means that you're going to look at any project that you're currently working on, be it your business or be it in your personal life, be it in your finances. You're going to take a few hours in a week to implement these experiments. So what you're going to do with these few hours is that you're going to think of new ways that you can do what you're currently doing and implement an experiment. Do things differently, switch it up a bit. Think of new ways that you can do what you're currently doing. You're not just going to cut off the current processes that you're using. What you're going to do is you're going to take out a few hours in a week to implement these new processes that you have come up with, to see how it works in that project, to see how it works in that business. Instead of just relying on what you currently know and how you currently do things, it's going to give you the opportunity for you to do things in a different way And who knows, it could actually be a better way to do it. This can happen in several different ways. You can test a new channel, you can test a new marketing style. So for new channel, let's say for instance, you're currently running that project on Instagram. How about you try YouTube? How about you try TikTok to see what progress, what improvements you can record in those few hours that you're implementing. And who knows, if you get better results than your current channel you're currently working on, then you can pivot. You can also test out a new marketing style. Let's say it's in your business and you've been marketing in a certain form. If, for instance, you've been using text, perhaps on Facebook, to do your marketing, how about you try video? How about you try another style to see how it works? The second thing is that you're going to dedicate 10% of your time to learning. 10% of your time to learning new things. When you diversify your knowledge, it is easier for you to be adaptable. This is because information makes you confident. When you find out that you do not know something and you're supposed to speak on this particular topic, because you don't know it, you would tend to pull back because you feel that you are not knowledgeable enough in that topic to be able to lend your voice. So I want you to invest 10% of your time to learning new stuff. This is going to build your confidence. This is going to build your wealth of knowledge, and it will help you to implement this new skill of adaptability. More information is equal to more confidence. So I want you to learn, learn, learn. Become obsessed with learning and getting more information. Learning is also one of the things that makes you become a high value woman, and I talked about that in a previous video which I'm going to link here. So I want you to check out that video right after this video. You need to keep learning and keep getting valuable information for your space and for your industry and for the industry that you're hoping to get into. The next point is that I want you to join a community that helps you grow. Join a community that is focused on growth. Now, when you are in a community, you have the opportunity to exchange energy. So it is very important for you to choose a community that is focused on growth, because you are going to be rubbing off on each other, and that would help you to become adaptable. It could be a community that is focused on growth of any sort. So if you're interested in a community that is focused on growth for your physical health, you can seek out that sort of community and be a part of. If you're focused on a community that is focused on growing your finances, focused on growing your health, focused on growing your confidence, you can seek out those kind of communities and become a part of them. At the start of this year, I started up a community of women who are interested in growing their finances and growing their business, and we came together and we've been interacting with one another wholesomely. We meet up once a month to talk about our challenges and offer one another ways to grow and advices on how to move to the next level. We also interact on WhatsApp, which is our virtual platform. We decided to keep this community small for several reasons. So you can choose to be a part of a small community or a larger one, depending on what you're expecting to get from that community. But the key point is this, is for you to find your own people. Find the people who are going to help you to grow. Find the people who are going to challenge you to grow and to be better. In my previous video, I also talked about starting up a different community of women who come together, and if you're interested in being a part of that community, then click the link in my description box to send a message to my email. In this group, I want us to be able to grow our health, grow our finances, grow in all aspects of our lives. If this is a kind of community that you've ever thought of joining, then do click the link and send the message. The next point is that you need to begin to think of a plan B. So for every project, for everything that you're doing, you need to seek out a plan B that you're going to implement. This would help you to put plan A and plan B side by side to see what works better, to see what would be better for that particular situation, for that particular project. And even inside your business, if you're trying to make a decision, let's say you want to sell a particular product in a particular way, you can have a plan B on selling that same product but in a different way. This would help you to have like a side-by-side comparison and be able to see what works better. Let's say you've started a consulting business, right? And your major platforms are possibly Instagram and Facebook. Your plan B could be, how about I look at LinkedIn or YouTube? And then you can be able to put them side by side. During your testing period, test them out and see what works better. It could also be that you've been creating content for your brand or for that project using pictures. Your plan B could be, how about I try videos and see what works better. Another example of plan B could be that you've been creating short form content on YouTube and you're seeing the result, or perhaps not seeing the results for that. Plan B could be actually creating long form content on YouTube so that you're able to test the results and see what works better for that particular project. That way, you will be able to tweak things around or completely change your strategy if the initial plan was not working properly. Share with me in the comments, does any of these points resonate with you? Does this topic resonate with you? How have you implemented adaptability before, knowingly or unknowingly? How has it been for you? How has the experience been? And how are you going to be intentional about developing your adaptability quotient? Remember that adaptability is a skill that you need to consciously hone, and it would help you in your journey to making millions. I'll see you on the next video.